Hi everyone, this is Rion Paper, and today's video will be a bit different. I wanted to show you real quick how I made this. This is a ring binder, and let's say it wasn't born as a ring binder. This was actually a Paperblanks notebook that I turned into a ring binder, and it was quite easy to do. But in case you were wondering how to sort of approach this type of little DIY project, I just thought I'd show you how I did it. If you're active in the planner community, if you watch a lot of planner YouTubers, you have seen rings many times over the past couple of months. It seems like ring-bound planners are really big again, and I was kind of getting a bit of FOMO. I felt like, you know what, maybe I want to try rings again. But I way back when I started planning, when I started bullet journaling, really, that was my first sort of planning system that I adopted. I started in rings. I used a Filofax refillable notebook because I thought rings would help me sort of counter my perfectionism, because I used to be very much someone who thought, I've ruined one page, now the entire notebook is ruined, and I don't want to work in this anymore. Luckily that's a lot better now, but I thought if I just started in rings, if I mess up a page, I can take it out, make a new one, easy as that. But I quickly learned that for me personally, especially for daily planning, daily journaling, there are lots of downsides to rings as well. I do not enjoy writing over the over the rings. Like, I find that they're very much in the way when I'm trying to write. Even if there's a space in between, like, they'll always be in the way. So I would always take the pages out, and that's just a bit of a hassle. Plus, I really enjoy the charm of a bound notebook for a daily planner. So I wanted to go back and experiment a bit with rings, but I didn't want to buy anything new. I don't have my old refillable Filofax notebook anymore. So I was just looking at options to try it without spending a lot of money, basically. And I was thinking of using this more as sort of a project reference planner. I haven't set this up yet. If I will, then maybe I'll show it on the channel at some point. But I was thinking about just sort of having a collection, basically, of the projects that I'm working on, steps that I have to do for that, notes on what I've done, what I'm thinking currently. Basically just keeping track of various projects, pages that I will have to reference quite a lot of times over a short period, and that at some point can just be thrown out because I don't need them anymore, because the project is finished, or maybe I can archive them if I think that I want to look back at them at some point. But that's probably what I had in mind for this little ring binder. And I thought there's two things I can do. I can either buy a really cheap ring planner, something that is maybe something that I don't really like in terms of how it looks, or I can make my own. And I was thinking, I have this absolutely gorgeous Paperblanks notebook. This was a Flex notebook. And it's just like, the cover is so gorgeous. I like this so much. I got this as a present a couple years back. And it actually housed this notebook. It's a bound notebook. And I have brutally cut this apart because I do not enjoy this paper. I found out later that this paper that was in this Flex notebook is very susceptible to bleed through. There are only a few pens that I can write with on this paper. And if I'm going to be writing in a notebook that's this beautiful, I want to write with fountain pen, and that just doesn't work on this paper. Even with an extra fine fountain pen, it will bleed through so much that I don't really enjoy writing on it. So I'd only written a couple pages, and I still had this notebook lying around. And then at some point it crossed my mind, what if I just cut out the notebook, keep this for, scrap paper, it's fine for that. And I purchase a A5 ring set on, you can buy this literally anywhere. I bought it on AliExpress, and I'm just gonna try making my own ring binder from this. And if it doesn't work, if I mess it up, it's not that big of a deal because I'm not using the notebook anyways. So that was a very long-winded intro, but that's basically what I did. So what I got was this, and I bought two because they were only a couple euros, and I was afraid that I was going to mess it up, or that maybe I'd break one of them. So I thought, let's just get one extra, and then maybe I can, if it works, and if I don't need the extra, I can just make another notebook or another binder with this, and maybe gift it to someone. And this ring binder comes with a wooden strip attached, and I've actually not used that in this binder. I feel like it really depends on the type of thing you want to use as a cover, whether you will need the wood or not. And obviously you can also decide to not use the cover at all and just take two pieces of cardboard, or maybe some thicker plastic as a sort of cover that you just put in the rings. That's also an option, and you keep it loose like this. And basically what you want to do is you just take a screwdriver and you unscrew this. It has two screws and they come loose very easily. And you can see that basically what you have to do is get this through this little screw, or it's not even a screw. I don't know what's called this in English, but you have to get this one through the cover. Then you just place this on top and you screw it. And that's basically it. You do that twice and you have a perfect ring binder. So what I did first was, you need some kind of knife. I use this, I think it's called an X-Acto knife. I'm not really sure. And I just carefully cut out the notebook, the pages of the notebook. And because this is a bound notebook, it has this sort of, I don't know what to call this. I have very limited vocabulary today, it seems. But it's basically sort of integrated into the cover. So I ended up with a very ugly line on both sides of the cover, like here and here, basically, where you sort of see where I cut this loose from the pieces that are sort of glued under this cardboardy stuff. So I cover that up with some black tape that's already coming loose. I did not use the best black tape for this, unfortunately. I've made a couple mistakes when doing this, but that's fine. I can share them with you so you don't have to make the same mistakes. If you're going to do something like this, use tape that sticks better. And then basically what I did is just place this on top. I'm going to unscrew this one as well. Hold on. And then I placed this little metal piece on top of the sort of in this little area. You can place it neatly in the middle, and it'll sort of stay in place as well. And then what you want to do, which is arguably maybe after cutting out the pages, is the most sort of stressful part of making this, is you want to use something like this awl. I think it's called an awl. Something like sharp that you can just pierce through the cover with. And you're going to place this exactly where you want it. And you have to make sure that it's sort of neatly lined up. And that's the number one mistake that I made, was this shifted higher than I wanted it to, and I hadn't noticed. So then when you pierce this, you just place this little awl on top, like in the hole, and you just I don't know, smash it with a hammer. Make sure you do this not on your desk, but maybe place something underneath it. And you'll end up with 2 holes in the spine. And what you'll see here is that I have 2 extra holes, because like I said, unfortunately, this little thing moved when I was piercing the spine, and I hadn't noticed that. And unfortunately, I messed the first one up. But it's fine now. It sits well, and it looks okay. And then you just screw the screws again, and you end up with this. And if you do this correctly and you close the notebook, you can stand this on a flat surface without the binder piece poking out, and it also won't poke out at the top. You'll see that there and there. It's completely hidden by the cover, which is how it's supposed to be. And of course, if you're going to put paper in this, you will need some sort of inserts or a hole punch. Luckily, I already had a hole punch that could do 6 holes. And I've put some scrap paper in here that I had printed for some test prints at some point, which is why they have 2 sets of holes. That was not by design. But yeah, this it works fine. It's really nice. It's surprisingly sturdy. And I think that the Paperblanks Flexis works really, really well for this. I hope I have not given anyone too much anxiety by basically destroying or upcycling a Paperblanks, which is like, this is not a cheap notebook. But if you have one of those that you're not using, I feel like not using it at all is probably more, that's probably more sad than making something else from it. So yeah, I'm quite happy with this. If you have the materials, it's honestly not that hard to try and just make this yourself. It's quite fun to do. There are tons of beautiful notebooks, obviously, that you could use and in that way you can have the exact cover that you would like. One thing you have to watch out for is that the size of the rings, the diameter of the rings, isn't bigger than the thickness of the notebook when closed, because otherwise it'll bulk up like this, unless that is something you don't mind. But I don't have a ruler here, but I measured this distance at first, like, just the back of the notebook. I measured this, and I picked out the smallest rings from the shop where I got these, and they fit perfectly. This works really, really well. So if you want to give this a try, then don't make the same mistakes that I did. Take your time, go slowly, triple check everything you're doing, and you will be fine. It's honestly not that hard. You don't need a lot of specialized tools to do this. And just have fun with it. There are so many gorgeous binders out there that are beautiful, but also really, really expensive. So something like this is beautiful because, the problem is that when you don't go for leather, lots of alternatives are like very bright, plasticky materials. And I do like sort of the elegant looks of like a book like this. So having this as a ring binder, I just thought that was really cool. So I hope you like this little video. If you've ever done something like this yourself, let us know in the comments below how that went and if you're still using it. Yeah, that was it, I guess. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.